all right. Get this thing started. It's this one over here, isn't it? Right? I think that's it. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is January 20th, 2025, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? How's it going? I see somebody already ran the hat command. Let's join in. They're right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. I don't have my YouTube chat in front of me over here. Let me bring that up real quick. Let me just get that in front of me here real quick. It's this button right over here, and then I can see what's going on and arrange things. There we go. All right. How you doing there? Let me catch up with folks that are already here in chat. Hello. Mythin getting resubbed 40 months with us. Thank you so much. 40 months of good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in my part of the world. Yes, indeed. How you doing there? Wise Otter with a big wave. Billy Cool as well. Surly Dev taking a look. That's right. It's my teal wild kiwi hat. I just got this. Right. This was a delayed Christmas present that arrived in the mail from our friend that Junie Von Esch. There you go. Check out the wild kiwi, and it did pick up. I wasn't looking quite at the camera. It didn't pick up the embroidery here on the bill. I think that's kind of cool. So very unique hat with the kiwi bird running across. So I like it. How you doing there, McNets? Hello. You like the hat? Thank you, Mythin. There it is. I missed your sub alert. No, I made sure that I brought it back and we talked about that. Thank you so much. Getting a little bit of coffee into me. It snowed here yesterday. That's why I'm delayed starting today. We got about 4 inches of snow. To those of you who don't use American units, imperial units here, that's about 10 centimeters of snow that we got. So I was out taking care of the driveway, making sure the cars are cleared off so that we can get out and everything dries off here today. Yes, thank you. Well, I think we're going to do a little bit of an observation of this tomorrow, since I had to start late, and there's a couple things that I want to get moving and show off for some updates that I'm doing. I want to celebrate this tomorrow. It doesn't have to exactly be the 1000th, but yes, thank you. We are 1000 streams in to broadcasting live on Twitch. It's been 1000 streams. I started streaming about 7 years ago. In November 2017 was my first stream. I've been keeping track. I keep detailed analyses of all of my streams. I know when people come, when people go, and what that looks like. And it's been quite the ride. We've been together through the pandemic, through lockdown, where, you know what, the only place to hang out and talk to friends was right here on Twitch, on YouTube, and thank you all so much for being a part of it. So yes, thank you, Lanky Scottish Nerd and Mythin. We are 1000 streams in here, and I don't think it's going to stop for a while here. We're not going to stop streaming for a while. Hey, Null Sheffo with a big wave. Hello. So, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of what we've been able to achieve, the things that we've done, but we're going to continue to grow and change and shift things as we move forward. So it's something that's important to me to continue to grow the channel and do new things with what we're broadcasting, with what we're doing, to learn new things, and hopefully make it an experience so we're not doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, yeah, right now we are doing a content management system. However, we're learning new things and we're dipping our toes into more advanced topics as we go along. And today's going to be no different. So we are in milestone 0.6 of working on SharpSight. And while these are milestones that we're hitting, that are groups of functionality that I've kind of grouped together so that we can say, hey, look what we accomplished, and we've got a nice line that we can draw and say we got these things done, and these these are interesting bits that all kind of work together that we can say are done. And maybe they're not milestones, maybe they're sprints. I don't know. I think we're at a point where it doesn't really matter one way or the other if it's a milestone, if it's a sprint. We're early enough, right? We're maybe 3 months into this, and we've built a lot of interesting functionality. I think as we add the next bits here that are going to help make unit tests, integration tests, make them support the framework, it's going to allow us to add themes and default configuration, and a default theme configuration, and an installer process, and ensure that that always works as we add new features and capabilities. And I think that's fantastic for us to learn about, for us to have an example that we can refer to that's open source, that's very rich in nature, that's going to allow us to do more in our own projects because we've learned through tinkering and experimentation on SharpSite. So I hope you find it the same way. Hey Reg, how you doing there? Happy 1000th stream. Yes. So very, very thankful for that. It's a balmy 18 in Atlanta. According to my watch, it's 22 here in Philadelphia. It is cold. DGen1's over there on YouTube and asks, what made me start streaming? Great question. In 2017, I was the one who was writing all of the release blog posts for DevDiv. If it was Visual Studio, if it was .NET, if it was a programming language, I was the one writing the release blog posts. And the process at the time was that the product team would decide, okay, we're ready to, we've got something that we want to publish. Hey, we're going to schedule it to go out next Tuesday. We need a blog post about this. Let's reach over and make sure a blog post is
developer dad just resubscribed
Hey, the developer
for 17
dad.
months.
Thank you so much. 17 months with us. I appreciate the support. So it was literally an afterthought to write the blog post. So they would come to me and say, hey, we need you to write a blog post about this new release. And I'd say, okay, what do you want me to tell people? And I would literally interview a handful of the program managers and assemble that blog post. And putting out that blog post was something that was getting annoying. It was something that was so much of an afterthought. And I pushed back and we started to redo the process a little bit. But I made it clear to my manager at the time, a guy named Scott, that I was not happy with the process and that the blogging was not fulfilling me. So in October, I had a number of yeah, that guy. I had a number of conferences that I went to and spoke at. And some folks, some friends that you've seen appear on this stream. Yeah. Some folks whose podcasts I've appeared on said to me, you should really consider podcasting. You've got a voice for it. You've got, you know the content. You know how to tell a good story. You should really consider podcasting. And then I was getting all set to podcast, and I met up with a wonderful woman at a local conference here named Suze Hinton. You might know her as NoOpCat. She doesn't stream anymore, but she told me about live streaming. You should try this. Instead of doing a podcast where you have to plan everything, you need to schedule everything, and then you need to set up your distribution mechanism and website and all these things, you can just attach over to Twitch and set up with your microphone and your camera and broadcast whenever you feel like. I watched one or two of her live streams, and let me give this a try. It was a weekend after the American Thanksgiving that I said, let's give it a try. And I went on and I ran a live stream for an hour or two, and I was hooked. I've met some amazing folks. Hey there, like this one right here, Ms. Ellie-Face. Hello. That encouraged me, inspired me, showed me some other cool things that we could do, and I really got hooked. So 1,000 streams in, and we're gonna keep going. And tomorrow we'll celebrate. We'll do a little bit more. And then we're gonna do another 1,000. That's what we're going to do. So maybe milestone, maybe sprint, maybe jaunt. Yeah, let's call them. Let's call the project. What do you think? Can I get some of my Philly friends to agree? Can we call them not when I'm working on a project, and when we have a block of work that takes 2 weeks, maybe a month to finish, instead of calling it a milestone or a sprint, can we just call them jauns? We just finished this jaun. We're going to ship that jaun, and it's all good like that. I appreciate that Blazer Mr. Magoo is the one suggesting jaun. Abby Knight says it's 6 Fahrenheit in central Indiana. That's cold. That's cold. Reg says it's 2 Fahrenheit, -17 out in Denver. Oh, man, that's cold. Kinslayer says, but apparently the cold was no match for Snoquan Barkley. Oh, man. So good watching that football game yesterday. So good, yes. Our Philadelphia Eagles did quite nicely. It was amazing. Here, somebody fire that hat command again, because it wasn't quite able to see the artwork on the bill there. And I think I want to show you just a preview of what Charlie can do. Just a preview. Eagles for the very large Soup Bowl? Not quite. Not quite there yet, but maybe. There you go. The Wild Kiwi Navy cap. There you go. Interesting. It didn't lock because that's an interesting bug that we just ran into there, but that's okay. The hat appears to reference New Zealand culture or branding with its focus on the iconic kiwi bird. There you go. What do you think? I love the artwork. This is embroidered on the bill. Very, very cool. So, no, that's a bug. That it ran twice like that? Yeah. Let me see if I can get some music playing in the background here, and we'll dive in and do a little bit of coding and talk about setting up tests. I don't talk enough about building tests. Listen to me talk. I don't talk enough about writing tests, exercising our software, and I want to set up SharpSight so that we can have some tests out there that run and support and help ensure that we have a robust and rich process that ensures that everything's running great and that we don't break anything importantly. Where are we here? Yes. I'm going to go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist. No. Let's go with the rock playlist. Even though it's shorter, much shorter, that's okay. Let's start in here. We're going to start on the machine. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. I'm listening to the rock playlist today, but there are so many great playlists out there with hundreds of songs that you can listen to, you can download. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music that we're listening to today. That's right, I'm going to drink some water. Actually, I've got coffee. I was outside shoveling snow, so I've got some coffee, warming up my insides. Pump up the volume. We need a little more there. So I want to show, I want to stress, particularly in a world of GitHub Copilot, that writing tests and adding tests into your projects and exercising them so that you can demonstrate bugs clearly is something that anybody can do. Copilot's free. Whether you're writing tests with Playwright or XUnit, Copilot's going to help you build tests so that you can hand off to your developers, hand off to your other project team members, examples of exactly what isn't working with a little bit of description that indicates how it should work. That's what I want to get into today. That's what I want to work on today. You finally got an electric snowblower. You're too old for that nonsense after that huge snow event 2 weeks ago. So, I have a gas-powered snowblower, and it is phenomenal. Cleared off my driveway. Literally, I was done clearing off the driveway in a half an hour. Was clearing off the cars, and then pushed the snow that I cleared off from the cars and moving them around and getting that last little bit cleared off with the shovel, and that took me another half hour, 45 minutes. And I feel really good that my driveway is clear, and even though it's below freezing here, everything's going to be just fine tomorrow. After the refreeze and everything. It's a 70s or 80s song? Yes. No. Okay. Yes. It Pump Up the Jam, I think, is what you're talking about. Hasn't snowed down there since 1989. Oh boy. Well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Can I show you something real quick? I was showing some of our friends here. I want to show a little bit of work that I've been doing on Project Charlie. Yeah. Let me move this out of the way. So, Charlie is the next-gen bot that I am writing for the channel. I am writing it off-stream because there are features, there are things that I am building for this that I want to surprise you with. Okay? It will be open source when I'm done, but for now, I am working on Project Charlie off-stream so that we can have some fun when I announce and bring Charlie in. Charlie's an acronym. Charlie stands for C# Fritz's Helpful AI for real-time live interactions and engagement. The things that we've done with the Hatbot are just one of the features that we're adding to this, okay? But I think I can share. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Come on now. Yeah, I think I can share a little bit. As you get older, you got to be careful about hand shoveling. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes. You're right. Who's excited about the numerical string compare in .NET 10? Let me head over. We're going to talk about .NET. I'm sorry, the Sharp site customizations that we're building. But I want to show you this. This is what I'm building. Coming soon. Just a sneak peek. I'm excited about what Charlie is already able to do. I've had some good conversations with some of our moderators, with some of our VIPs, about some of the features that I'm building on this, and there's consensus that this is going to be a lot of fun. Soon trademark, yes. Just like my tag. My tag is soon and kind of parked for right now. There's a lot of work going into that. So, oh, look at this. And you want a Vader voice mod? A Vader voice mod. I see what we're doing here. Where did it go? Why don't I see voice mod? I haven't done voice mod in a while. It's funny, I didn't get the redemption sound. Nope, that's the wrong microphone. We want... Yep, that's right. There we go. Okay. Now we can do the Vader voice mod. Oh, yeah. I can really do it after clearing off snow. Let's head over here and set up, and we'll do that. Vader voice mod. Right, there it goes. Oh, and the ads are going to start in just a few minutes there. There we go, but I got to actually turn it on. I don't see it. Did they remove it? No. There's the storyteller, the Titan. I think they removed it. Hang on.
Marcus voice coder just resubscribed for
Hey,
31
Marcus.
months. May the force be with you.
Thank you so much. 31 months. Thank you so much for all that support. It was like a... I don't see it here anymore. No. I don't know where it went. Pardon me for a second here while I look for it. No, it's not here. I just saw it. Hang on. No. It's a lightsaber icon. Hang on. It's a lightsaber icon. It looks like a sword. No. Oh, there it is.
Test. Oh, there it is. Yes. Reset that timer. Where'd it go? And it actually enabled. There we go. 5 minutes of this voice. That was weird. Alright, not gonna lie. I don't need the other music. The Empire did nothing wrong. No, it was you and the rebel scum. Something like that, right? All hail to Lord Vader. Maybe. So, let's talk about things. We're going to add tests to our application. And it's going to be amazing. But, how do I do that? I want to get tests structured and into the solution and part of the build process. Because when you build, we will execute those tests, young Skywalker. Something like that. How do we do that? Here. So we want a tests folder. We want to update our contributing documentation and our GitHub actions to execute our test. So, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? Execute them? Execute all of them! You're part of the Rebel Alliance! Oh, and publish a report. Yes. Let's see. How do we do this? Start over here. Get back into this folder. We did our .NET update. So let's jump back over to that project. Delete. Sure. Net update. Right. What else? Get pulled. Oh, they're gonna do hamsters after this? Fine. Fine! What? See, folks found the voice mod redemptions, and that's all we're gonna do for the next hour. Let me tank up on coffee here. Coffee. Is it time to build the AI fact attribute? I don't know. That's weird. That's not a terrible idea entirely. So let's create a branch for let's call this test foundation, right? And set this up so we've got someplace online for it to land, and we will open Shark's Eye. Let's go! You're updating the repository. Pray I do not update it any further, or we'll put you in carbonite. Like that scum Han Solo. Okay. We like having everything in folders and organized nice and neat so that it's easy to find things in our source code. So now we have samples, we have source. Let's add test. So I'll add a folder for that. And I'm putting a number in front so they get ordered in the order I want them. I have altered the table. Pray I do not alter it further.
And we're done with that. But we've got hamsters out there now. Hamsters. Really? Because it isn't weird enough. Why didn't it trigger that one? Because that is one. Yeah, it's right here. There is no background effect for this. We'll play the music. And more fun with hamsters. Yes. Yes. So, there we go. You hear double? That's right.
Now you don't. Sounds weird, like you forgot what I sound like. Well then. It is hamsters, plural, and me. Let me go bring on GitHub Copilot. Alright, where should we start with testing? What do we need to test first? I don't know. There's things in the website that we should test. But then there's integration level things we should test too. So what do we test? Thinking. We are aware that hamsters can actually talk, aren't we? Well, maybe. We dance. Hamsters dance. Is this community edition? I don't remember. This is the enterprise, but I don't use enterprise features. So, it is preview up there. How you doing, Larry? Welcome. I'm a hamster. Ads are on for our friends on Twitch. Let's see. Let's have things like testing application state and managing this John. Woo! John! Nowhere near cheesy enough? You think hamsters should sing the national anthem? No. Bad idea. Don't like that. Let's see. Where do we go? Somewhere down here. And, plugin managers of things. And, look at all this file stuff. Look at all this file stuff. Bummer. If we're gonna test this, we don't want to write a file, right? That reading and writing a file is separate. Okay. Okay. And loading as well. Let's see. Configuration sections we're going to want to test as well. Yes. Let's see. This. Right there. Right, saving that file is something we should probably inject. Because then we can test it with just a stream and investigate the stream, and that's nice. That'll work. Makes it more testable and more robust, so that when we want to put that content somewhere else, it's a stream, like file. All right, enough with that. Yeah. All right. Let's add a test here. Just a test project. Come on now. Sharp side with test web. We're done with the hamsters.
Let's auto-tune the code. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Let's see. How many years have I been streaming? 7 years. 1,000 episodes we've done at this point. So, if I want to start testing the application state, plugin manager is another one we're going to want to build some tests around. Let's see. What can we do? Well, let's add XUnit to get things started. Right? XUnit. Don't mind if I do. Give me that one. Yeah, go. Right. Did it install? Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Sure, we'll bring in the Visual Studio runner. Thank you. It didn't bring it in. Really? Like... Alright. Cool. So we can start writing tests. Add some fluent assertions. No. Why not use one of the template test projects? Why? This is working just fine. Storyteller mode! Fine, we'll do that now.
There it is. It's storytelling. We're going through all the voice redemptions, and they're amazing. We need a little more on that. There. Now you can hear me in front of the music. Yeah. I'd like to organize my tests. So we're going to build some tests for application state. And we're going to test that a little bit. Yep, go ahead. Move that. Thank you. So, what are the things we want to test about application state? Let me close this. Move this over a little bit. We don't have a constructor, so that's okay. Yeah. So we can just create one. I thought I was. Isn't that what I chose? Yep. 301. There we go. Let's see. So what do we want to pin and verify and assure is always working? We could verify that works. I'm not going to go back and do another round of hamsters. We already did one. I'm going to reject that one. Let's see. Set configuration section. We can do that. We can do this. Yeah, let's do that one. Right, there's a lot of features in here that you should verify works, behaves right. Setting configuration sections is being done when we save changes from over here in the plugin config. So, set configuration. Yeah, set configuration section. And I like to do a bunch of given, when, then types of syntax around this. The music makes you think it's a movie trailer voiceover in a world where programmers rule supreme. Yes. I get a little bit of slapback on the voice mod. So, let's see. Do I put this in its own folder? Yeah, sure. So put another folder. Set configuration section. And we'll put this in here. Let's create an abstract class to start. I don't want to prematurely optimize here, but I'm going to. Base fixture. Base fixture. Yes, there we go. This, we need a project reference. We're done!
Back to normal voice. All right. That was a lot of voices all back to back to back. Let me get back over to the code. And let's get back into this. I didn't add a reference over to the web project. So I do need to add a reference. I'll just drag that over here. So now this, nope. Let's call this SUT equals, yeah, that. Right? SUT, system under test. There we go. Cool. Let's rename the file. That's fine to get us started. And when we go to write our first test, so we're working on set configuration section. So given valid configuration section. Now let's say given null. Yeah. Given null section. Base fixture. Look at that. And it's doing all the shoulds. I don't like that. Give me my X unit. It should throw. I like that we've got that syntax. I don't... No. Right, what is it? Assert throws. Yeah. There we go. And... Right, I'm starting to develop a structure here in my code that is going to make it very readable when we run these tests, right? So here we can run that. We should get the Test Explorer loading up here. There we go. And this should be, right, it's going to take a second to build. Come on. Not run, why? When setting null section, then throws argument null. I like the name. Run it. Builds. Unexpected error detected. 2 errors. Could not find test host. That's annoying. Oh, yeah. Only supports playing PCM WAV files. That's different, but this is... It's not running the test. Like, that should have run. Why does it say XUnit 293? If I remove this, right? Hey, Nasir Media, hello. All right, run. No. What did we break? Could not find test host. Do I need to restart Visual Studio? Like, that should... Right, that should run on its own and do its thing. Loading tests from cache. Waiting for build to complete. Could not find test host. Huh. All right. Yeah, the XUnit runner Visual Studio is what I thought I had loaded. It supports the built-in Test Explorer feature in Visual Studio. Supports blah, blah, blah. Run tests from XUnit net 192 and later. Okay. So if I go back to Test Explorer, try it again. Build succeeded. Could not find test host. Playing test run failed, sound failed. There's settings for Visual Studio over here. Works for me. I mean, fine, I'll remove the sounds. That feels like a miss, like something broke there. No. Clear that. Run it again so I can see exactly what the error is. Yeah, I don't want to. Don't want to talk about him. Good for him. He's being named president. He's being inaugurated. I don't want to bring in the politics and that nonsense. But could not find test host. Yeah, it's not the stream for that. This is... That's a new one for me. I'm trying to configure XUnit testing in Visual Studio, but get this error. How do I fix this? I should have used the, what's it called? The voice control. Because that's a little bit more compelling, a little bit easier to do. Run the following command. Microsoft.NET test SDK. Really? I thought you installed. Didn't you install? Yes. Now it says uninstall, but now there's the check. Should this be test SDK? Maybe. Maybe. Back over here, run this thing. Building. Hey, there's that Junie Vanish. Yeah, it recognized the hat. Still got an error. Ooh. Alright, so we actually got into this. Exception type was not an exact match. Argument null exception. And we got null reference exception. Okay. And it said I can set up the... Right under test options. Test sounds have not been configured. Please open tools options. Tools options. Test configure sounds. Tools options test. Yeah. Configure sounds. This was where I was. And I had a test in here for sad tuba. No. Dumb. No. No. I had this loading my sad tuba effect. I'm going back to that because I like that. And it's my machine. Where'd it go? No. What the heck? Hang on. Huh? How about this? Now try it. No, it doesn't like that sound either. All right. Not an exact match. So we're expecting argument null exception on that. I'll go fix that. Here, let's just follow that through. Right, so yeah, it just fails. So we'll just add that null check. Add a null check for the section argument. And that can even be... That's even easier to do if we just do argument null exception, throw if null. Boom. Right, run that, and we've got our first passing test. Done! Much better. I am a wild kiwi today, yep. It did recognize it quite nicely. You think that user interface could do with a workover? Definitely. Did I start late today? I did. I had to do a little bit of cleanup in the, what's it called? The snow out in the driveway. Go ahead, take a picture of that hat. Go ahead. Watch this. Watch this. This was a very kind Christmas gift from our friend, that Junie Von Esch there. Check out that description. Check out that description. Bazinga indeed. How you doing there, Codebase Alpha? Hello. So I've got my first test, right? Oh, and the resub.
Codebase Alpha just resubscribed for 9 months.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that resub. Bringing that Twitch Prime. Much appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I've got my first set of tests, but there's one or two little problems here that I want to clean up along the way here. First off, I put the tests in the wrong folder here. It should be up in the test folder. Even then, this is in the wrong folder on disk, so I'm going to remove it for now. And I'm going to move this around a little bit. Close out. Back over here. We work at the command line. We work at the command line here. Let's take a look. Where is that? There it is. Sharp Site Test Web. I'm going to move that into the tests folder. And we're going to go back over to Visual Studio. Right click here, and we're going to add an existing project. Up one over to tests. This one, there it is. And it's having a problem finding the website. That's okay. We'll just re-add it. Bing. Done. And right click. Where is it? I want to run all tests. No, don't run. There it is. Run tests. Building, let it go. Hello there, Crow. Hello. We do work from the GUI. A little bit. In Visual Studio. Test completed. Fantastic. So we've got our first test. We've got tests running in a location here. So, right, taking a look at the targets that we wanted to do. I have the test folder both in Solution Explorer and in on the fold on disk. Good, it's in the right place there. Just have to put the focus in the code and say test run. Marcus, you're gonna make me jealous here, aren't you? Waiting to run Visual Studio Code from your Samsung smart fridge. It should be doable, actually. Like, if you can get access to a Linux terminal, you should be able to do that. That should be possible. We need to add some entries to contributing to outline unit test requirements. What do we say? Right? What do we say about unit tests? Checking the inputs? Okay. Getting started. Development setup. .NET run. Should we add a script to run unit tests? Mine crypto on your smart washing machine. I mean, it's doing nothing. It's just sitting there. What you really want to do is you want to mine crypto on your smart dryer. That way, it's creating its own heat to help with drying your clothes also. See how that works? Imagine saying that phrase to someone in the 70s. Imagine saying that phrase to someone in their 70s. Back to Unity 3D you go. There we go. Merge changes from another branch. Default user. Coding guidelines. Add unit tests where appropriate. Appropriate. Do not break unit tests or end-to-end tests. Yeah. Adding translations. Let me see. Should probably have something about running tests. Don't have anything about running it locally also. Oh, there it is. Kids these days are miners mining bits. That hurts. That hurts. Running tests locally. No, I actually have to launch. No, not voice mod. Voice access. Yeah, there's voice mod. Thanks. Go on. Should probably have a script to run the tests. Right, that'll run all the tests in the solution. Now, can we just do... How do we create a solution filter? No. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to set up a Solution Explorer filter. That would be cool to do. That would be very cool to do. Let's go back over here. How do you create a solution filter in Visual Studio? Why aren't you typing? It's still not typing. Let's go. Get with the typing. Okay, it doesn't work. Start typing in this text box right here. No, not typing. Will you type in Visual Studio for me? Question mark? No. Okay. I guess voice access, whatever it is they added here to Windows isn't going to work for me today. No. I never know what she's doing. Yeah. Nothing. Type some text here in Visual Studio Code. Nothing. Windows H doesn't do anything anymore. That feature's gone. WinH got more than a downgrade. It's not working here on my machine anymore. What can I tell you? Yeah, voice access was at the top, and it was not responding. Like, it was... Type some text in Visual Studio Code. Oh, now we're going to work. See, now I've got to turn on and off the microphone, otherwise it gets just kind of crazy. Back over here. How do I create a solution filter file in Visual Studio 2022? Yeah. Do not load projects when opening the solution. Check the do not load projects checkbox. Right click the solution, save as solution filter. Yeah, unload those. Unload those. And unload those. Save as solution filter. And let's call this unit tests. Okay. Now how do I go back? This one? I don't know what this button does. What's this button do? Yeah, see, nothing's loaded. And down here. Okay. So now can I go back over to this? And can I say .NET test, unit tests, SLNF? Doing a thing. Finish starting. There's my test summary. Cool. Let's put that into our docs. To run the unit tests locally, comma, you can do this at the command line with this command, :new line. One of three of these. And it's this test. With this command from the base folder of the repository. Cool. So now you can run the tests right there. Yep, there you go. Solution filter files. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what to recommend as far as folks adding and defining in the format and the naming of unit tests yet. But I've given away here to say, here's how to run them. That works for me for right now. I think we can get this into... Wait, hang on. Show me what that looks like. Yeah, there's an extra one of these. That. Yeah, there we go. Let's call this running unit tests locally. Next step. Update the GitHub actions. Let's take a look at this. So right now it does a build, does a restore, and it does a build with a no restore. What I want to do is I want to run the test. After it's done building the solution right here, I mean, it's literally building the solution. Should probably add the test as another job. And not the pull requests. What do you got here? Sign in requested? Nah. Oh, fine. Yes, that's me. Yes, you can do that stuff. Thank you. What do we got here? I just did sign in. Sure. Really? Whatever that is. Stop. I don't know what this is. Go away. I'm... You're being difficult now. Disable. Yeah. Turn it back on. There we go. That's what I want. But I want you on the left side. Can I just pick you up and move? No. You're going to make me use it over here. And what's this thing do? I don't know what Copilot Edit is. Add a job to run the unit tests and report. Run the unit tests. What was the name of the filter file? Unit tests. Filter. And there's another microphone here. And report the results. The new job should depend... No. Successful completion of the build job. See what you get. I don't know why it was moved. Is there a reason for a restore with the no restore? Since I already ran restore, you don't need to... When you run build a second time, it's going to double check if it needs to restore. Well, I already did restore. And by doing that separately, it puts it into a separate report section in the GitHub action so that we can see exactly what happened there. Test runs on Ubuntu latest, needs build, checkout setup.net, restore dependencies, run tests, no restore, report action results. Okay. I guess that works. I don't know. Can we reuse the build artifacts from the build job in the test job? Let's see what we get. Modify the test job to reuse the build artifacts is what it's decided to do. It's applying edits. So here, what do we got? Save build artifacts. And it's looking for everything in the bin folders. Restore dependencies, it's removing that. Instead, it's restoring build artifacts. No build with a TRX logger and then doing this. Okay, that sounds good. At the conclusion of the test or build process, make sure that you clean up and remove any artifacts. Clean up. There we go. Add steps to clean up and remove any artifacts at the conclusion of the test or build process. There we go. Yeah, it's now baked in. It's no longer a extension. It comes with it. So clean up test artifacts. Good. What else? Clean up build artifacts. No. after all jobs have run, whether they are successful or not. Make sure that you clean up any artifacts that were saved. Add a cleanup job that runs after all jobs have completed. There we go. If always, clean up build artifacts, clean up test artifacts. Yeah, I like that. That looks like a good addition there. Let's save that. Let's push it and see what happens. What is an SLNF file? It's a filtered solution file. So what I have is I have a solution file that only has the test projects loaded. Right. So it only has loaded my unit test project, so that in the future, when I add more projects with unit tests, I'll add them here, and my script that says just run the unit tests that are in the filtered solution file will just run all of those, and we don't have to maintain a script that has all of that settings in there. You've always just had multiple solution files. That makes sense too. That's another approach. The solution filter approach tries to make that a little bit easier. So what do we got here? I think I finished the things that I needed to add here. So let's add the tests folder. Let's add the unit test solution filter folder. And what did I change in application state? Oh, I added the null throw. Yeah. Added a foundation to start writing and running unit tests. I like getting Copilot to generate the tests for me. I really like getting Copilot to go through and update the GitHub action for me. That feels really nice. I think I've got that. So this is 184. Let's create a pull request here. No. We're merging this into the 06 branch. Initial unit test foundation. Yeah, that one. Let's see what we get. You really liked Copilot helping you migrate a few thousand lines of fluent assertions. So Billy Cool, I've heard folks talk about that, migrating fluent assertions to shouldly. Having Copilot help with that has been a massive assistance that folks have been looking for. Ads are going to pick up here on Twitch in about 4.5 minutes. How you doing there, YouTube friends? Hello? I don't see too many folks commenting that are watching on YouTube. That's okay, but we're here chatting and talking. One of the things, while this isn't doing anything, I was expecting this to do something and it isn't. I was... You like... Needs build or test if always. Yeah. Right, I think that's build or test. Back up here to the top. Yeah, if there were changes to anything in there, it should have run. Fine. Is it going to run a test? It only has... Ah, look at that. Build test. Now you can't see it. No.
Developers.
Build test and cleanup steps. Thank you so much for the follow there. So now I should be able to click in here and see it building. Yeah. Everything should continue to build properly. We didn't change anything really in the build process. There's web, there's app host, saving the artifacts. Starting upload of files. Okay. Total file count 662. That's a lot. This part's going to start to take a little bit longer. Yeah, look at this. Okay. Successfully loaded. Now we're going to run tests. It's another job. Setup.net. There we go. Yes. .NET 9. Good. Hey, Tookie. Yeah, I do miss the GitHub action. It's going and getting the build artifacts, bringing them in. Yeah, looks good. Yes. Run the tests. I don't see any results. No files were found. And then clean up build artifacts. Okay. What did we miss? Check out setup.net. Let's go back and look at tests, because right here. Deleting the contents of home runner work sharp site, initializing, disabling automatic, setting up auth, fetching the repository. Okay. Fetch, no tags, no recurse submodules. Depth 1. Okay. Yeah. Setup.net. That looks like it ran properly. Good. Bring back the build artifacts. And then this is... doesn't really know what it did. Should the path be changed to source sharp site, or should it work still after the restructure? When it does the build here, it's picking up the solution file. And run.net build here is running against the solution file, so it gets all the projects. So I think we're okay on that. Let's see oh boy. What do we got here? Mm. Okay, there's the GitHub checkout. There's JSON. Downloading the build artifacts. And that didn't do anything. What if I run this locally? Right? Like, let's try running what it has locally here for us. Like, so um it processed all these files. What does that look like in that folder? This does not appear to be running the tests against the tests that are in the solution filter file, period. Can we instead have it run against the test projects that are in the build artifacts? For projects, the projects will have a name that includes the keyword tests, period. Should this be looking at DLL files and not proj files? I think that's what we want. Right? If we were to take this, jump back over to here. Right, this will be in Sharp site, tests, web. Let's see, it's in tests, sharp site, tests, web, bin, something like that. eShop's test workflow is very simple. Let's take a look at what they've got. .NET build. He's not even referring to the other stuff. Just build it, test it. Sure. We can get rid of feature test foundation. Git stash pop. It doesn't even run build as a separate thing. It's just test. And it runs build test. Checkout, restore, build. Run tests. Not quite. .NET test. And what's the name of the file again? Unit tests. I don't need to build logger TRX. Didn't need that. They don't actually do a report. This little bit here will generate a nice report that gets attached. I think that works. When testing framework, .NET test command using. What testing framework? Oh, it's using XUnit. Get checkout, fix. Oh, I forgot the -B. Simplifying the GitHub action. I didn't do a -U. Huh? This one. Fixing the unit test execution. Mm-hmm. Now, why isn't that running? Because it's a GitHub action that we modified, nothing else, that's why. So it's just test, cleanup. What do we got? All right, setup.net, good. Yeah. Restoring dependencies, good. So far, so good. Building. I like it. I like it. There's the tests. There it is. It ran the test. There it is. Passed. Report test results. There will be one file upload, starting artifact upload. Blah, blah, blah. Artifact name is valid. So it's going to go get rid of those. Artifact test results. Post setup, post run. Okay. And if we look at our summary up here, test results. No. I don't need discussions yet. We should have gotten that nice report file output here. Let's, right. We don't have it. We didn't tell it to, and then we went and deleted those. So I don't think we need this anymore. Fix, test report. Removed artifact cleanup. One more time. Removed artifact cleanup. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Show me what you got here. Right, so that when this is done, I should get a little report that pops up over here that shows me that it ran that one test. And, right, I added one test just to give us that base foundation. We'll add many more tests in the future. and they should all run very, very quickly, and we should be able to see, right, just how our project is growing, improving as these processes complete. Reporting the test results, okay. And it says it published it. And the job is complete. So there it is. But hey, J.A. Code, hello. Don't try to dictate the term show numbers. Where is it? I have... I don't think the upload... I'm not thinking about test coverage yet, Ice Cream Stick model, but that's a good discussion to have. I think the test report isn't the one that I want to be using. I think I have a different one that I'm using over here. Restore dependencies. Create Docker image. There's the build and publish, but where is it? There's the test. There we go. And then we tried to do playwright. We need to get back to that. But this one isn't publishing results. No, where is it? I had a project that was publishing test results. Where is that? It wasn't TagZap. Hey, look at that. Do I have it in there? In Aspirify? There's Charlie. Yeah, test results. There it is. This is what I want to see. That. Come here. Come here. Where is it? Publish test results. This is the one that I want. Let's update this. Fix. No, wait. Can't I just... Hang on. Right? It put a quote around test results. And then for reporting test results. What did I do? Right, let's do that. Yeah. Change text test results action. Get rid of that. Because I really like that format. Do another pull request. From me. Yes, I know. I should clean up some of those extra branches. Into 06. Yeah, I think that works. Do it. And you're going to tell me, oh, I know you're not allowed to do this. Voice to commit. Yeah, absolutely, JA Code. How you doing there? Welcome in. I want the incoming change. And do it. Let's see what we get. Do it. There we go. Pulling the unit test, publish unit test action. Okay. Setting up .NET, restoring dependencies. I don't need you to see all the stuff in there. Oh, wait a sec. Bot fell asleep on me. Did the bot fall asleep on me? It did, and it's not reconnecting. Rerun that. Get reconnected.
And then?
There you go. Looks good. Now we've got test results here. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. So now we look at summary for this. And we refresh. Yeah, the test results appear right there. Which also means when we put in a pull request, it'll have those test results attached to that pull request now as generated here. I like that. Right, and we can even take a look at more details over here, and we can dig in if we wanted to. So that's... I like that a lot nicer. I think that's a lot nicer than the other format. I thought it appeared down here, but that's fine. I'm okay with it there. Next steps. Right? So this is done. I should rebase a little bit. All right, if we look at 06. Right, now we've got the commits of shame in here. Do you know what I'm talking when I say the commits of shame? Right, look at it. These three that are just, I'm touching the action file. We're going to update the action file. These are the commits of shame. I don't like this. I want to squish. jump back over to here. Fix, test, report. Right. And here, look at the commit. Look at the commits. Right. I want to go back on to Echo 7 Foxtrot 784. This one right here. Let's rebase onto that. And clean these up, right? The only person who's going to read those commit messages is the AI. Always happens to me when you're working with Azure Pipeline YAML files. Yeah. Yeah. So... hang on. Right. So I think I need it on Foxtrot, this one. So let's do a rebase. Right? If you're not familiar with rebase, rebase is a way for you to take a couple of different commits and squish them together or remove them so that you only have one commit in this case. So I'm going to pick that initial one. And down here, I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to insert an S command that says squash. Use that commit, but meld it into the previous commit. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Delete that. And I'm going to say, go ahead and squash that one as well. And I'm going to jump back over here. Delete that. Insert. Tell it to squash. Exit. And see, it's taking those commits. It's giving me, here's all the messages for these things. What do you want to do with this? And quite frankly, I don't care. Because I'm going to smash it all together as one. And I'm going to do a git push force, which is going to actually make some of those disappear. And now we have just one commit there, and it's running that test right now. So we'll let this finish, and away we'll go. What do I think of having the integrated terminal, having Copilot as an option in Visual Studio Code? That's nice. That's nice. Love having options available to me to make to enable Copilot and give me easier things to do. We saw that Copilot wasn't entirely delivering the best, simplest solution. In our case here, it ran and it did execute properly, but it wasn't the simplest thing. That's why it's a Copilot. It's making recommendations. So that's okay. There we go. My test results are right over here already. Ta-da! As it finishes the rest of the build. So there it is, all running properly. I don't use caches anymore. 52 total minutes in the current month. 50 runs in the current month. Not bad at all. Performance metrics? Really? This is going to go up. Neat. Okay, so now we have a way that our unit tests are being run. Ads just kicked on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, you don't need to worry about that. We are at about... It gets you out the door. Rebase can also rewind some commits and replay them on top of another branch. Yes. And you can start to get a little interesting about how you move around commits. So we now have tests. A test we should add more tests that run as part of the project. We'll want to add more tests into this. Yep, this is open source. You can get a test runner set up. Absolutely. If you want to take a look, there's a link to the GitHub repository. That'll get you into the source code. The next one we're going to do is end-to-end testing with Playwright. Maybe we should add some more tests first. Yep, go ahead. You can reload there, Visual Studio. Got it. Even before it gets complicated. Exactly. It's going to get more complicated. Right? We added a very simple first test here. Right? This one. Test results. We don't need to see that. So I've got my base fixture, and I've got this. Hey, given a null section, it's going to do this thing. Well, what are the other things we expect set configuration section to do? We expect it to add it to the collection of configuration sections. And if there's something that's listening for events, that it adds it. So let's add another test here that actually adds that section. But we should probably have a stub configuration section that we're going to use as part of this. Add new section. Yeah. Look at this. It wants to create a mock that it thinks is going to add. Are you going to suggest to me that I should add? Yes, we want to use that. Go ahead. That's good. Iris, welcome in. Hello. You have a Playwright test that always passes when the browser is shown, but when running headless, it fails. Oh, that's frustrating, Marcus. Oh my gosh. Just tests that don't behave the same. Well, we'll install mock here. Call my nickname. All right, I'll call your nickname. How you doing there, call my nickname? Welcome in. I added in MOQ. Yep. And that's going to create a mock iSharp configuration section. And we should be able to do that. It should, when we add a new section here, when adding a new section, then section is added. And it should appear. I don't know. That sounds good. It was code that was generated. Let's see if it actually does that. And then let's go in and make sure that when it doesn't do it, it properly fails the test. So it's going to go build all the things here. 2 tests that are in the mix, and 1 failed. So what failed? And it failed because value cannot be null parameter key. Okay. So here, let's see if Copilot can help us again. Right? Separate out the configuration of our mock object and ensure that a name is assigned to our mock SharpSite configuration section. Let's see what it gives us. Am I going to teach us Playwright? I hope so. Sure. I don't know. That looks good. Try running the test this time. Let's see what we get. There you go. 54 milliseconds, and we've got it. And everything should still work. Good. What else should happen when we add a new section? Is there anything else in there we want to... if the section already exists, it should replace it. And actually, this should be invoked as well. Configuration section changed, which is an event handler. I wonder if Copilot can help with that. Add a unit test to make sure that the event handler that triggers at the end of set configuration section is properly triggered. I forget what it's called. Go figure it out. You go do it. Hey, Frank. Streaming on the day off? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Says it generated some code for me here, but I can't see it. Sure. I don't know. Go ahead, add it. Let's see what we get here. I love using Copilot to generate the unit tests. Configuration section added. Is that just not visible? It should be configuration section changed. Well, that didn't work. I thought I copied that. Right? Cert is true that it was triggered. Sure, that looks good. And go ahead and run that. Ran properly. Test Explorer, go run all the tests. What am I doing? How you doing there, Kevin, dude? Hello. So I'm generating some unit tests using GitHub Copilot right here in my code. And I'm not writing any of the code for this. You can see I'm using Windows voice access up here to dictate to Visual Studio what I want it to test. So I'm testing this class here called application state. And in particular, application state has a series of configuration sections. And I have this method that adds those configuration sections. It's a very simple method, but as we start to roll out unit tests into our application, I want to start simple before I get to some of the more complex business logic items that we're going to need to tweak and interact with. You know what I'm saying? So I've got this class over here that lives inside of a test project. I'm testing my website here, but I have my unit tests down here. So I have a class that's going to work on when I add new sections. So when adding new section, then event is triggered, right? Maybe I should rename this to when adding new section. So I'll just delete that. I am using, let me turn on the keyboard. Is the keyboard cam even working? I forgot to check it today. Like, yeah, it is. We can turn that on. There we go. So, I can rename this. And we can get rid of this also. Because I have accelerators built into the keyboard that allow me to do some actions very, very quickly. Copy, paste. Right, I'm using this key here to turn on and off the microphone when I dictate. So I dictated and it generated all of this, and I just renamed my class here. So let's rename the file. Go ahead and do that also while I'm here. And I can go back to my... Where's the unit test? Unfortunately, I can't see the top address bar. Right? I can control... tests? Run test. Right, there it goes. And it's running, building and running all the tests here. this doesn't exist anymore, so I can remove that. Right? Yeah, I can't see the address bar. Windows, you're not. It's very handy that that's up there, but I can't use it. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. Clear all test results. When was it? Control RT and it ran all the tests? Do that again. Copy paste keys, yeah. How that unit test, how can that fail? Yeah, let's go break some of these tests. Yeah, go run everything. There we go. Let's rename this one also. Right. When setting null section, and it should fail. Right, because it was the wrong test. So the... Oh, rename the file. Right. That's fine. So the question is... I thought I just renamed the file. Why didn't... Right? Thank you. How would this fail? So set configuration section, right? When it's adding it, if for some reason this didn't work, right? If I yank that, right? These are basic tests at this point. But if for some reason that doesn't execute, it's going to come back and say, oh, I didn't find it. Right? Similarly, if for some reason this event didn't run, it should fail that also. Oh, thank you, Kevin. That's very kind of you. See, there, the then event handler is triggered. So, right, we're making sure that these things happen because in the future, we may add more business logic to this. We're really depending on this doing those couple things. It put the configuration section into the collection, and oh my gosh, thank you for the support. Hey there, is it PDix? Welcome. Thank you so much. And it triggers that event so that if anything else in the application is listening and wants to take extra steps after the configuration is set, it can go and do that. The other big pieces that I really want to test in here are the load and save, because it's persisting in JSON format, and I want to make sure that those are loading and saving properly. Codebase Alpha says a good suite of unit tests allows you to refactor fearlessly in the future. Facts. Not just refactor fearlessly, but I can depend on those features working. And when a bug is raised, we can go through and we can expose that bug and through a test so that it's easy to track it down, and we know that bug is fixed in the future. Marcus puts it beautifully there in chat. Adding tests is all about confidence, and it'll give you as a developer confidence going forward. So we're at milestone 0.6. We've spent about 2.5 months building this application framework. Adding these tests and providing the capability to add these tests is going to allow us to add and refactor our themes, add and refactor new plugins, and have the assurance that they're going to be loaded and saved properly. And now I'm out of coffee. So, this could get a little dicey. Because it wants that plugin manager. Is that even used in here? I don't think it is. No. No. That should be loaded from the plugin manager. Seems like a trend with this half-parted keyboards, the separate keyboards like this. What it lets me do is move my hands as far apart as feels comfortable for me, and not be forced into tiny, tight keyboard. Right? I gotta move my shoulders so that my arms are... But I can leave them as separated as my arms are, so I'm reaching forward. So I think you're right. It seems like a trend, but the comfort that I get because I can just reach straight forward to where my hands naturally land is nice. It's nice. Right? And it's about buying professional grade tools for us as professional developers. So, and I don't say that lightly. You know what I mean? Hey, play one game. How you doing? Sounds logical. Cool. Right, and of course, you see the cables. Let me slide that back. You see the cables plugged in here. This keyboard has the capability of going wireless as well. Yeah, thank you, Frank. Appreciate you calling out the keyboard there. So, lots more that we can do with the Digma keyboard, and it is a professional keyboard. Full disclosure, the folks at Digma provided this, and this is their fully loaded keyboard with Gatoron yellow switches. So, I like blue switches. I'm a big fan of the blues, but this is nice. Glad to see me? Cool. I'm glad you're here to join us. Could I try highlighting the load method and typing /tests and see what it produces? Oh yeah, let's do that. Sure. Right? So this is kind of a feature here that you can say create unit test for that. And yeah, do it. Okay, what do we got? So it created a file, and it wants to write with a... Right, it wants to write the file to disk. Not a fan of that. Can we give it some more direction? I like where this is going. Move this file into the sharpsite.tests.web project in the application state folder. Let's see if it'll do that. Where's this? Application state tests. No. No. I'm not going to let it write this directly. Let's cut that. Cancel. Close these. I'm going to add a folder called load. Right. Let's create a... No. I thought it was, is it Control-Shift-A? Yeah, there we go. I don't care. I'm pasting it in, you know what I mean? So there's all the things. It's got my fact. New this. There's the new application state. So if we inherit from my base fixture, which I have down here, I think this could be moved up to there. Cool, that's updated. Yeah. Should initialize state when file exists. Let's take... We got some work to do here. Get rid of that. Can I do this? No. Why is it... I feel like this is a mess where we ended up here. You know what I'm saying? Split keyboards are cool. Unfortunately, learned wrongly and hit B and Y keys with the right hand. Dark Anvil, yes. I was very much an evil crossover typer. Yes. And switching between this keyboard and the keyboard on my laptop. Oh, it's so difficult. Yeah. I am developing a little bit with ChatGPT. And I did share a link to the source code. There you go. There's a link to the source code and the project we're working on. It's all open source. Let's add that using SUT. Yeah, that. So now I can do this. I don't like it loading from there. So it's serializing and then writing it out to disk. I don't like that.
Developers.
Wait a sec. I think I just confused this. Hey there. Who's our new follower? Thank you, Dark Anvil Labs. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, I should be able to say base application state. Really? It's internal. You type with one finger on each hand? Two if you want speed. Uh-oh. Gizmo wants to take a look at the hat. Go ahead, Gizmo. Take a look. Where do you see this? It might not get the text on the bill. Yeah, it did. It got it. Yep. All right, let's make this public. That's fine. That's fine. There it goes. Sure. And we'll change these. Yep. Yep. And it is making Copilot's suggesting the correct changes there. Now, this feels so dirty and ugly to me. You buy every new keyboard every 3 months because mechanic and silence, and I will buy this split thing. If you use my link that's there on the keyboard command, it lets them know that you learned about it from me. You won't save any money, but it does let them know that I referenced it. there is a tenting option too. I don't normally use it, but there is the ability to tent with this so that you can, if you'd like, of course. Where is it? Right, if you want, you can tent it as far up as you'd like. Thank you, Frank, for pointing that out. But I normally use it flat. I'm boring like that. There are support groups. Yes. This has full RGB configuration, not just for the base all the way around, but for every key, for every, and there's 10 layers there as well. The thumb clusters are absolutely amazing on this. Just delicious how much you can configure and do there with your thumbs. So, they don't pay me for this. They sent me a keyboard and I really like it. So, I don't like, do I really need the plugin manager being injected here? Like, this is giving me, as I work with the code from another point of view, I don't think I need that. So let me hit the two places it's referenced, right? I don't think that's needed there. Because it's not used in this method. Right? And the other place it's used is here in the test. In which case, I don't need that. Okay. Taking a picture and then describing what you see would be a brilliant app for partially sighted to use on their phone. And Marcus, that's what the Hatbot is doing. And it's using OpenAI on Azure to run that. You could certainly run with a model locally, but you're going to need the horsepower to run that model locally. I don't like that this is writing a file to disk here. Oh, I can also, right, so let's do this. Let's do this little bit of renaming here. Call this when file exists should initialize state. Right? And let's take this second one here and uh-oh. That should have been the end of that class. Right, and then I want public class. We'll fix that. And it's going to inherit from base fixture. Yeah, there we go. And we'll want curly brace there. And this I'll rename to right this, and we'll get rid of that. Oh, I left a plugin manager isn't needed here. I don't need to create an application state because I've already got one. If the file exists, delete it. Await. Application state load. We don't need that. All right. Last thing that I want to refactor is I want to pull out of this needing to work with a file on disk. Is it free to download to run locally? The OpenAI language model file. There are other language files that you can download and run locally, but I don't believe the GPT-4o models are available to download and run locally. Yeah, they're professional grade keyboards that if that's what you need, you're going to pay for. So, all custom made. So, like, you can swap out all of the keys. I have a duck. You can swap out the switches. You can swap out the metal plate. The wrist rests they're magnetized and they slide right in there. So, yeah. Yeah. Can I run this one? And let's call this but no, that's the name of the file that it's looking for inside of here. And it'll load it if it does exist. I mean, I guess I can run that, right? I don't like that it works with a file. That's a tell me you're Gen X without telling me you're Gen X keyboard. There we go. 2 succeeded. Come on, tell me it's going to run the test. Where's load? Yeah, load right there. When file does not exist, should not initialize stats? Stats? Should not initialize. There we go. Okay. I'm going to move this out somewhere else. To its own file. Thank you. We're going to rename your file. Should initialize state. Yeah, that's fine. But here we're serializing and writing a file for it to reload and go interact with. This feels clunky. I think there's better things we can do with this. What if... Yeah. Do we really need... Yeah, because we're loading it with the service provider up here. What is it doing? Right? This is the other thing that unit tests do. They cause us to rethink, how exactly are we doing that thing? Thank you for the cheer. Appreciate the biddies, always. Right? What's doing? It's that. Which is setting up a couple other things. That's fine. What if we put in a little bit of a stub there? No. Put in a little bit of indirection on getting that file. So that we can change the behavior of this during test process. Yeah. Phil with the resub.
Phil Vesey just resubscribed for 43 months.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Get application state file. Uh-oh. Go ahead, take the picture. There you go. So... And actually, I want this to return text here. I want this to return string, not a stream. Contents. That. And right. There we go. So now I can change this to string is null or empty. App state contents. And that's not needed. This becomes app state contents. Okay. How do we do this now with... So what do you think of that? So some of our new friends that just dropped into chat, that's the AI. Just took a picture of my hat and reported that it is my wild kiwi hat. I've got a thing for hats on this channel. So I wear a different hat most days that you see me here on stream, and it will identify the hat and report it. Oh, yeah, I should have flipped the... Thank you, Codebase Alpha, for picking that up. What I can do here is... Right, I think I can do... Not an action, this is going to be a func. That returns a string. Get application state contents. And by default, I'm going to set it to that. Why don't you like that? Fine. Okay. So what I'll do is get application state contents. It is pretty quick at coming back, yeah. If it is null, then we'll do that. Otherwise, get application state contents. There we go. So now I can pass it in, right? I can inject that from outside. Oh. I can't use the double, right? The null coalescing, because it might be null. How you doing there, Korabi? Right? Yeah, see, that's... This could be null. Right? So, it's... Because I said, well, it could be nullable being passed in. So... I do need to, unfortunately, do the full syntax there. But what that does let me do, when file does exist, right, I don't need the file on disk. I don't need to write the file. But I do have that string there. So what I can do is I can change this and do something like this. And pass that little bit of indirection. And now it won't write to disk, but it will load and inject that. And that should still work. Failed. Of course it should still work, and no. The signature is incorrect. Show me. What? Developers. Rebuild that. Hey there, AAK. Welcome. You got some underscores in your name there. Yeah, that worked. So rerun that. Here, I'll change hats for those of you that have not seen this before. Go ahead and run the hat command again. There you go, it ran properly. That's right. So I need to go back to there you go. Just so you know that it's not hard coded and it's right. It's actually looking at my hat and reporting what it is. There you go. It's my Midtown Comics hat. Right? Midtown Comics. So really cool stuff. So that runs properly, but I don't like this when file does not exist. Right? I don't want to test the actual file there. So I could change this and instead here, right? Similarly, do that. Right? Hey, there was no string content found. Works. Go run everything. Make sure that all the tests that we have right now still work. Should be 5 tests done. And we generated most of that and had to tweak a little bit along the way. All that was built here while streaming. Yes, indeed. And Frank? Remind me to talk about Project Charlie with you. Is there anyone on my team who regularly streams .NET MAUI? No. Not anymore. No, I'm sorry. It's not a thing for those folks to be streaming. But very rarely I'll do .NET MAUI here on this stream. Let's check in these unit tests. Yeah, look at all that. And actually, to make sure that I didn't break the application, let's start this with .NET Aspire and take a look at the application running. Yeah, Kim was doing .NET MAUI streams. I'm not familiar with what happened there at all. So here's the application all starting up. I have a database that's running out there. There's my web front end. I can jump into that. It'll start up and get connected here. Right, you starting? There it is. There it is, and everything's running properly. Go log in. I have an admin user. One of the next tasks we have is to build the theme and replace kind of this junk simple interface here that we have. There we go, logged in. If I go to site admin, we look at plugin management. It loaded our plugins. So there's a plugin subsystem here that we built that allows you to configure exactly where and how that runs. And you can upload themes, configure your page not found content. So, right, I can go to this page and that content was loaded. And if I go to a page that doesn't exist, I get the customized content as well. You have 2 ongoing projects that have a part of Maui, but not yet. Yeah, there you go. So we're getting somewhere, right? All of those features work. Let's go punch those in. Sure. Add app state tests. Let's see, what do we got here? We updated directory package props. We renamed some of these files. I'm okay with all of that. Yep. Added some tests for loading application state. Push that up. We'll commit these changes and we'll call it a day. Set up a pull request. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Nope. We're going to put this into our 0.6 milestone branch. Added a few unit tests for application state. I can type. I could have put a description in there from Copilot. Don't really need it. Why isn't this building? I worry about that. Let's go back to Visual Studio Code and take a look at the GitHub action. You had a call with Rachel Kang last Friday. Provided some feedback for Maui. Nice! .NET Maui has really matured in the last few years. You're right. Juan just started a Blazor project. Should be testing it next week sometimes with the clients. Took 6 weeks to get going. Ooh. I think you're okay on source and tests. Yeah. Go ahead, fix that. Fix all that using Copilot. That's fine. Yeah. Updated GitHub action to acknowledge the correct folders for changes. I don't know. Sounds good. Go ahead, upload it. Back over here. Still not going to run it because it's probably pointing to the wrong folder. That's fine. Squash and merge, get it in there. Let's go. Delete the branch. Back over to actions. Hey, look. Look. It's doing the right one now. It's not going to find that branch because I just deleted it. But hey, are the Copilot descriptions any good? Oh yeah, they are, Redux. Yes. I think they're a little bit too wordy at times. Let me turn off keyboard cam so you can see a little bit. What do we got? Come on. You've been using Flutter because of app performance. Gave it a go, made 2 starter template apps, one in Flutter, one in Maui. Performance difference barely noticeable. Still feel like you're much more productive in Flutter, but Maui is a serious competitor. Okay. So that built, where's my, yeah, published test results. Back to summary. Where's the test results? I don't know. Here's the one for the 06 branch. There you go. 5 tests. That's 4 new ones that were added. And they all tested positively. So, I think we fixed it. And we've got a bit of groundwork now established that we can use going forward to improve this. Nothing beats RN, if you ask me. RN? React Native. If you're a JavaScript person, sure. Sure. If you're not a JavaScript person, might be different. So, you might have a different opinion on that. It's all about what tools you use that help you to be productive. So, there are some folks who like .NET, there are some folks who like Java, there are some folks who like JavaScript. So, President Not Sure is all about .NET Maui right now, does it for the day job and a contributor. Nice. Nice. So, now we have some initial unit tests. We've got 5 unit tests in the bag here, and it's working. It's not great yet, but it's working, right? I mean, it's nice to be able to jump into actions here, click in, and be able to actually take a look at the test results and get a nice little report there, right? We laid a foundation, and we're going to continue building that foundation next time. See, I timed it right as the song ended, and I forgot to hit stop on the song. But we'll get into this tomorrow. We crossed 1,000 live streams on this channel this week. It's been amazing to deliver that content, to have you out there as a part of this, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. We're going to celebrate a little bit about that tomorrow live on this stream, okay? I normally broadcast Tuesdays at 9 a.m. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m., and we will talk through, celebrate a little bit of 1,000 streams. We're going to go in and start doing some building with Playwright and have a great time adding that into our solution. It's, yeah, Frank, 1,000 streams. It's been 7 years, streaming mostly 2 or 3 days a week, but I'm getting back to 5 days a week with some shorter streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And today's a day off, so I figured why not? Let's go a little bit longer. So it's been a lot of fun. You opened the trolling box. Yes, you did. You feel you just need to practice more with XAML? I feel the same way. My XAML is not strong. I hope you join me tomorrow here. We're going to talk a little bit more about Project Charlie tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some more work on that this afternoon and iterating on that. Because it's... I hope to roll it out, an initial version of Project Charlie next week. We'll see how it goes. But, let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network. Who else I can get you connected to? I do see one of my friends out there streaming. I'm not sure. Really? I don't get to raid her that often, and it would be a complete rib to raid her and be kind of nutty. Can we do this? Can you do me a favor, chat? If you're watching on Twitch, copy one of these two messages. If you're a subscriber, copy this message. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Copy this message, and we're going to go make some noise in our friend Ellie Face's channel. All right? Let's go have some fun teasing her, showing off, and having a good time. Supporting her. She does a bunch of fun things here on Twitch. Let's go raid her and make some noise over there. I'm copying that text onto my clipboard as well. All right? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. And until then, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.